You probably thought that after yesterday, we were done talking about lines. Little did you know that, if I so choose, I could have us talk about lines forever. Actually, after we finish learning about latitude and longitude, I think we'll be good on lines for a while. So, what are latitude and longitude? Well, one answer is that they are a form of absolute location, which means that they are a way of describing exactly where something is on the Earth's surface without needing to know anything else about it. Don't believe me? I'll show you. This website is called Google. You might have heard of it at some point. Anyway, latitude and longitude come in coordinate pairs, and I'm going to enter a pair right now. 30.673278 degrees north, 97.688806 degrees west. All right. Hey, that's a map. Hey, that's a map of where I am. Let me see. Yeah, actually, if that red pin were a real thing, it would be plunging through the roof of the school and hitting me in the head right now. Using latitude and longitude was enough for Google to find an exact position on the Earth without any additional information. So, how do latitude and longitude work? Well, latitude is just a way of measuring how far away you are from the equator. For example, Mr. Smiley Face on the coast of Africa would be at 20 degrees north latitude. The 20 degrees is because if you measured the angle between the equator and the smiley face with the center of the Earth as the angle's vertex or point, you would get 20 degrees. It's north latitude because, well, it's north of the equator. On the other hand, Ms. Purple Lightning Bolt down on the coast of South America would be located at 10 degrees south latitude, since it's closer to the equator and, well, south of it. The two poles are located at exactly 90 degrees from the equator. The equator itself is located at exactly 0 degrees latitude, and it doesn't even get labeled as north or south since, you know, the equator isn't north or south of itself. This next trick is a little cheesy, but when I was in school, I was taught to remember the difference between latitude and longitude by remembering that latitude was like a ladder. The horizontal lines of latitude help you climb up and down from the equator, just like the horizontal rungs of a ladder. Longitude works in a pretty similar way, with the prime meridian serving as the center zero line instead of the equator. Longitude works in a pretty similar way, with the prime meridian serving as the center zero line instead of the equator. Here's Lady Hexagon chilling out on a South American coast located at 40 degrees west longitude. On the other side of the prime meridian, chilling on the coast of North Africa, you should be able to see Pac Man at 20 degrees east longitude. Learn to do both latitude and longitude at the same time, and you are ready to find the coordinates of any spot on Earth. Let's practice just a bit, shall we? Here's a map of the world with latitude and longitude labeled on it, and here is one of the places I used to live in China. Pause the video for just a moment and see if you can figure out its latitude and longitude. Ready? It's 40 degrees north, 120 degrees east. Notice how we always list the latitude measuring north or south first, then the longitude. And also make sure that you're careful about the east and west direction. Kids usually get the north or south part right, but often get confused on east and west, even if it's labeled right on the map. Let's try out one more on this map. This time, I want to see if you can find a particular location. Try to pinpoint the spot located at 0 degrees latitude and 90 degrees west longitude. Pause the video for a bit. And did you pinpoint this spot right here? Hopefully you did, because it's where the world's largest tortoises live. I think I'm going to switch maps on us now. There. Black screens go much easier on my eyes. I'm going to give you a bit of a tricky one. Pause the video and see if you can figure out the coordinates for this spot. Ready? It's at about 20 degrees south, 135 degrees east. It can be tricky for two reasons. First, the latitude isn't exactly on one of the lines. You can see it's between 15 and 30, and you'll have to estimate based on its position. As long as you picked some number bigger than 15, but smaller than 30, you're probably okay. Second, although it's on a longitude line, those lines are curved and can be tricky if you're not careful. If we follow the longitude line down, we can see that the line it's on hits exactly between the 120 and 150 labels, and 135 is exactly between those numbers. Okay, I think I'm about ready to turn you loose on your assignment. Hang tight for just a second, and I'll show you how the assignment works, and maybe give you a free answer to boot. Okay, here's the assignment you're supposed to complete, so let's see how I can do at this. What's your first name? Teacher. Last name? Jimmy. I'll say I have social studies second period. Mr. Murray is my teacher. Yeah, I'm on a roll. Okay, here's where the assignment actually starts. It begins with this picture of a map labeled with latitude and longitude. This is an old school map of Africa. This is actually what the countries of Africa looked like when I was in middle school. The map's changed a bit since then, but for our purposes, we'll stick with this one for today. Now, you can always just scroll up to the top of the screen to look at this map, but for me, what I might like to do is open up this map in a separate tab. If you'd like to do that, right click on it. If you're using a touchpad like on the Chromebooks, then click with two fingers and you should get this menu. And I'm going to say open image in a new tab. When I do that, I can now switch over to a picture of the map and tab back right over to the actual assignment. All right, first question. What country is located at 18 degrees north, 0 degrees? Okay, latitude first. Here's the equator at 0 degrees, 18 degrees north. Well, here's 10 degrees, here's 20. So I'd say 18 would be right about here or so. The longitude I want is 0 degrees. Let's scroll up so we can see it. Okay, 18 degrees north, move on over so I'm on the 0 degree line, and boom, I'd say it's right about here, which is in the country of Mali. So for the first one, I'll come down here. I got a lot of countries to choose from, but they're in alphabetical order. I will pick Mali. And then you know what? Dang, there's a bunch of questions. I think I'm just going to skip all these and maybe Mr. Murray won't notice. Submit. Great, I'm done. But everybody, even if you're not being as lazy as I was right there, when you're done, you absolutely should click on this button here to view your score and see how well you did. I'll click on it, and oh snap, I got a 7 out of 115. Now, this is a normal out of 100 assignment. The 15 is because you can get bonus points. But yeah, I got a 7. If I scroll through, I'll quickly see that, hey, this one, green check mark, I got it right. But lo and behold, the next question that I didn't even bother to answer, well, surprise, surprise, I got it wrong. And if I were to scroll down, well, I'm going to see I got every other question wrong, obviously. So here's the good part. Let me go back to that original window where I clicked View Score. Hopefully, I'm not satisfied with my 7. I can now edit my response. Click on this, and it doesn't mean that you're starting over. It saves all your answers. So, teacher, Jimmy, second period, Mr. Murray's my teacher. And when I go next, it still has my correct answer right here. All I need to do is fix the ones I either didn't do or got wrong. And as I mentioned, this assignment has bonus at the bottom. There are 3 bonus questions. I will not help you on these, but see if you I'm interested to see how many of you guys managed to dig up this information. The bonus questions are all about how the map of Africa has changed since this really, really old school one was in use. All right. That, I think, explains it. You are free to check your score and re-edit your answers as many times as you want to until you get the grade that you are happy with. Whatever it shows you the last time you finish, that is the grade that is going to get locked in. Okay. If you run into any problems, please let me know and I will be more than happy to help. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy.